You're thinking of signing up to BetMGM, aren't you? You are looking at gathering some more information before you do make that first deposit on your sports betting journey, right? Well, you've made the correct choice by clicking on this video because I'm going to answer a lot of those questions that you may have as I dig into the Fin certified criteria we use at OddsShark to grade sportsbooks. So, here in this vid, I'm going to be looking at user experience, bonuses and promotions, banking, sports and odds variety, and of course, safety and security. Essentially, very much like my high school days, I'll be doing the homework for you. What is up, sports bettors? I am Andrew Avery from OddsShark, and this is my review of BetMGM. Let's go. Guys, right off the top here, I just want to say that OddsShark is an affiliate partner of BetMGM. We do receive financial compensation for any signups, for any first-time deposits via our links to BetMGM on oddshark.com, in our description below, and elsewhere. But it is why we did create Fin Certified. We wanted to have that internal audit to review specific criteria about the books we are partnered up with. And I'm going to start this video off with user experience. And user experience with BetMGM is pretty strong across both mobile and desktop. You've got that familiar black and gold color palette. You've got a pretty good integration and familiarity for users on both platforms. That is obviously something that Fin Certified looks for. You don't want one to have a massive departure from the other, and it does get a satisfied nod in that regard. Page load times here are super quick, but with one little hiccup I did notice. Soccer pages are so deep and potentially so bloated that there is a bit of a difference. Some pages can take a few seconds extra to load, and I know that might not seem like much, but 3 seconds per day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, that's over 18 minutes per year waiting for that page to load, or exactly how long it takes Tottenham to blow a 1-0 lead. Bet slips here are super clean and straightforward. You can just click and add, and it will give you clear distinction about which is a parlay and which is your straight bet. I find some books can be a little sneaky in that regard. It's something that you should not overlook, but BetMGM has one of the cleanest slips around, to be perfectly honest. I like having the logos in the mix as well, especially here as I scroll through the NBA and the NHL sections, Major League Baseball. Just looks super clean, super professional. Something like that makes a big difference, at least for me. And that's not all, and this might seem crazy, but BetMGM does get a gold star for its blog section, and I did want to give that a shout out. This can be an additional tool for bettors, and it can be super handy. They use a team of writers to constantly update their blog section, and they provide good insights into some of the betting in futures markets, in single game markets, and more. If you are a bettor that likes to know where the book is cited or where the public is cited before you make a bet, this is a spot you should bookmark. All in all, user experience gets graded pretty well and ticks a lot of boxes when looking at it through the Fin certified lens. 5 stars. I think BetMGM does a lot of interesting things for bonuses and promos. For example, they have something called second chance markets, which they've sort of been a trailblazer with. Basically, it started with first touchdown scores in the NFL. If the player you bet did not score the opening touchdown, you got a second chance. And if that player scored the second touchdown, you won the bet. Very handy. I mean, how many times have you bet a wide receiver to score the first touchdown, watch him make a catch, and then go down inside the 5, only to see a running back get the touchdown immediately after? I'm speaking from many personal experiences here, not the least of which Jahan Dotson at Super Bowl 59. I'm still not over it. But due to the success and popularity, they've moved to a similar thing with the NBA with first basket scores. So that's a big dub for BetMGM. Elsewhere, some really good stuff for Premier League bettors where they will cash out your moneyline bet if your team goes up by 2 goals. Just look for that early payout tag. But I would love to see this across other leagues beyond the Premier League, sort of like what Bet365 has. But if you do keep your soccer bets to just the Premier League, then this will be perfect for you. In terms of what you can expect on sign up, currently at the time of this video, BetMGM features an offer on your first bet of up to $1,500. So if you sign up and you make your first bet and that bet loses, you get that same amount back in bonus bets. This is pretty solid in terms of what you can get for new signups, but again, this changes throughout the year, so just make sure you know what you're getting into. I did want to mention the BetMGM Rewards program. What makes it interesting is that you can use the rewards on the app or even across BetMGM hotels and casinos. So if you're a traveler, this could become super useful for you. But if you want to be treated like a VIP, you have to bet like one. So for those of us out there, maybe betting smaller unit sizes, maybe not for us, but certainly a handy option if you do tick those aforementioned boxes. Big W for their bonuses and promos, though. Lots of good stuff going on here and very deserving of 5 stars. Okay, let's talk banking now. And payments and withdrawals are pretty standard at BetMGM. Visa, MasterCard, Amex, Discover, debit card, PayPal, and a few other options are available for deposit, while you can withdraw funds via Visa debit, MasterCard debit, PayPal, Venmo, and online banking. Now, withdrawing those sweet winnings is largely hassle-free and super quick. For the most part, especially with Visa, you can expect processing to finalize within 24 hours. Same thing for PayPal and Venmo. MasterCard can take a little longer, but only 1 to 3 business days per their help section on site. All in all, banking with BetMGM falls in line with everything else that we see in the space in this day and age, and quite comfortably gets Fin certified. No real hiccups or concerns, which is kind of how it should be. For odds and sports variety, I mean, there's a strong chance that if you're watching this, you're going to be looking for things like the NFL, for Major League Baseball, for the NBA, for college football. You know, those standards that we all look for. And obviously, BetMGM offers those leagues, plus a deep assortment of props and futures within. Just clicking on a game takes you to what they have. And I got to say, I don't love the organization, just kind of middle of the road for me. But what I do love is the supporting info and data that they have on the app. Let's look at this Cavs Heat game. So right here, you can see where it lays out where the betting action is. 73% of spread bets on Cavs minus 8.5, 86% on the over, 87% on the Cavs money line. Just kind of handy to have all that stuff included. So I really do like that. Some of you out there just even really like to blindly fade the public, and this sort of stuff at your fingertips can be super helpful. Elsewhere, BetMGM features some solid offerings for soccer, for golf, tennis, UFC, boxing, NASCAR, WNBA, the CFL, horses, and more. And for those of you that want to get into some more niche betting markets, you can find things like cricket, like darts, MotoGP, snooker, and a ton of others. So a very deep offering for those of you that might be out there looking for that. Futures markets are pretty solid here, and per our on-site review, it is one of the best. They are early to market in a few areas, so it's definitely a book that you'll want to have an account with if you do like betting futures. They offer some unique ones as well, and they have some yes-no markets, like will the Celtics win 70-plus games this season, yes or no? Not everyone offers things like that with a yes and no option, so I do think that's pretty unique and cool. Odds at BetMGM are fairly competitive, but I find they might just be behind the likes of FanDuel and Bet365, for example. Again, I'll take this opportunity to stress the importance of having multiple sportsbooks just so you can get the best of a number when you're looking to make a bet. Even a 5 or 10-cent difference is going to have a pretty notable impact on your winnings. But their odds are pretty good and favorable, especially for sports like college basketball, where they do oftentimes stand out a bit from the rest. Teasers, also not a strength here either. For example, the NFL, a 2-team 6-point teaser will be minus 134, and it'll be minus 130 for college football. So if you do shop around, you're going to find some better prices. Another strike against would be look-ahead lines, or lack thereof. Not a huge thing, but it just seems to be rare that they have line games more than a week out. So if you're capping the Week 4 NFL board, for example, you won't see Week 5 lines. In terms of sports and leagues that they offer, solid. Futures markets, very good. Supporting betting data, fantastic. But not so great when it comes to things like teasers. Overall, though, it's very good, but I'm going to give it 4 stars here. Sportsbooks take safety seriously, and BetMGM is no exception. And being that it is a titan in the sports betting space, it is one of the more trusted brands in the biz. It is regulated state by state, and you can certainly play with confidence here. For IRS purposes, you can receive your year-end statement through your account and transaction history. And this is a big plus because it is one of the only books, it might be the only book, that gives the user this access. Some books make you file a request and then wait. So this is very handy from BetMGM. Customer service is very good, and they are responsive. Contact info depends on what state you're in, but any issues will more than likely be resolved in due time. They can be reached via live chat. They have a support account on X and a robust FAQ section to get you started if you do have an issue. But they do not have 24-hour phone support, which is a bit of a drag. Phone lines stay open until 8 p.m., so if this is how you want to communicate, just bear that in mind. BetMGM is safe and secure, and even though phone support is not 24/7, customer support is solid. Not as in-depth as others, but solid nonetheless. All right, guys, here's the scoop. There's a lot to like at BetMGM. It is one of the biggest brands out there for a reason. They have some really good promos and bet boosts. They have some really nice supporting betting data when you're looking at betting a game. They're up there with the best in terms of futures betting, and they even have a really good blog section that can be quite useful. But odds may be just a bit lacking, and teaser bettors may want to look elsewhere as their teaser odds leave a little bit to be desired. All in all, though, BetMGM does certainly get Fin certified status, and if you do want to learn more, you can check out our on-site review over at oddshark.com. If you want to sign up right now, hit that link in the description, or you can go over to oddshark.com and get started there. If I did help, hit that thumbs up button, and if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Happy betting, and stay safe.